I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouths of the Lord shall name.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rechak Kudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Alright, this lesson is going to be dealing with maintaining focused, alright, or staying focused, and not being swayed, by the decisions or the actions of your family members, your friends, or those that you may know or maybe around you. Okay, and especially those who may seem as though they are in agreement, all right, with with whatever you may tell them, because of course, there's certain people that we know, that we feel could potentially, have that sincere spirit, or we take a liking towards, or we tell them about the situations in the world and things they shouldn't do and things they should do and what not to take, don't take the shot, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we have to understand, all right, as scriptures say, okay, that, we each have to seek our own salvation, all right, because the spirit that is within the elect is unique to the elect, all right, and that means that there are going to be certain things that only the elect are going to be able to do, okay, and being that we don't know exactly who is and who's not of the elect, well, let me put it like this: we don't know exactly who is of the elect. All right. There are certain situations that may arise, and maybe your wife or your daughter or your woman or your mother or your friend or your cousin may, be, listening. They may believe what you tell them, and then the time comes and they break, or, you come home one day and you hear like, oh, they went and took the shot, or whatever the case may be. All right. You have to be prepared in your mind for things like that to happen, okay? Because ultimately, if they don't have the spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, they're going to ultimately do what they want to do, which is still going to be the will of the Lord, all right? But they're not going to see, all right, the essence or the relevance in holding on so strongly as we do. You see, sometimes they believe what we say because, we're telling them, but the faith isn't as strong because they're not rooted in Yahushua. Okay. They may be believing through your words that you're teaching, all right, or you're saying to them, but they may not have that core foundation, that rock. So it'll get to the point where they'll say, look, I'm really trying to ride with you, but this is too much, and I'm not willing to throw away my life or my accomplishments or everything I've had in this society or in this world or everything that I want to get, all right, because you're telling me not to, because you're saying the Bible says not to, or whatever the case may be. So I have here the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 26, and it says here, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, and yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. All right, now, was Yahushua saying here that in order to follow him, you have to detest your family, you have to hate them, you have to, want nothing to do with them and curse them out? No. All right, but what this means is that you have to be able to, if it comes to the point of selecting them or the Lord, okay, you choose the Lord. The Lord comes before all, okay, because if they are going in the wayward way, you have to be willing to separate yourself. You have to be willing to sever, all right, yourself from them in order for you to go on the right path. You cannot be the Lord's disciple because you're going to be too attached to them. And that's why the Lord also said, all right, he that loveth, let's see, mother. All right, Matthew 10:37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. All right. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Because if you love your mother or your father or your daughter or your son more than the Lord, it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to make a decision between the two. All right. Because if that family member is not of the elect or is not, trying to serve the Lord, it's going to come to the point where they may say something or want you to do something that may be conflicting. And it'll feel as though you have to choose between them and the Lord. That's why you have to have that mindset that if you're going to serve the Lord, as a matter of fact, all right, let's get that here in the Apocrypha. All right, the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Okay, because nobody said it's going to be easy, but these are things you have to prepare your mind for. Easier said than done. So Sirach, the 2nd chapter, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Temptation isn't just, she's a fine woman, but she got a man. That's, so I got to stay away from her. No, temptation comes in many various ways, shapes, and forms, because temptations are oftentimes tailored uniquely to each individual, because everybody has a different situation. All right. And we have different strengths and weaknesses. So what may be an extreme level of extremely tempting to one brother might not be to the next. But you have to prepare yourself for any kind of temptation. All right. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Because the time is coming very soon where your decisions to serve the Lord is going to make you, it's going to put you in a position where it's going to be hard for even your loved ones to want to associate themselves with you. All right. Because they're going to look at you as you're throwing your life away. All right. Or they're going to look at you as you're doing too much and you need to just chill. All right. Because they don't understand. They don't see the future. They don't see the prophecies. They don't see the vision. They're looking at the here and the now. So their decisions are based on the here and the now. And being that it's based on the here and the now, your decisions that are based on the what's to come doesn't make sense to them. You look crazy. All right. They want to ride with you. They want to stick with you. But a lot of them are going to break. Okay. They're going to break because they might have a strong reason not to do something. Maybe not to take the shot. But that's only until a stronger reason to take the shot comes about. All right. Or a reason that's stronger than the reason they had, all right, not to take the shot comes about. Okay. Because ultimately that resolve isn't, even it doesn't really even come from us. It comes from the Spirit of the Lord. So that's why it says in verse 3, cleave onto him. You have to cleave onto the Lord. Because this isn't going to be of our strength. All right. Losing your job is something that's easier said than done. Because, yeah, okay, you may say day one, all right, cool, whatever. But what happens a month in, 2 months in? Your savings is running low. Still got to pay rent. Still got to pay your bills. Don't know how you're going to keep on doing this. All right. Salakia. So you got to think about all these things. That's why it says constantly endure. You're going to be tested on many levels, and it's not going to help, especially when your family members or your friends are, going the other way. All right. See, there's certain things that we're going to have to go through in our own personal lives that even those perceived as closest to us won't be able to help us. Even Yahushua, when he went through what he went through, his disciples weren't able to help him. All right. It's sometimes you have to go through it alone so that your actual resolve, all right, can be put out there to see, are you really about it? Without any external influence, are you really about it? All right. So it says that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Okay, you gotta stick to the Lord, cleave to the Lord. And if you do that, in the end, he will increase you. After he has proved you by breaking you down to see if you will break, he will increase you and build you back up better. All right. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. What you'll notice in life is that when you're changed to a low estate, people don't really want to be in that low estate with you. Right? People would, unless they're themselves in a low estate, that's cool. But the second they get out of that low estate, they don't want to be associated with you. All right? They may not say it, but we all know that they're thinking it. Okay? Because they're not able to see it through. Verse 5, it says, so if you let that get to you so bad, oh my gosh, my wife broke and she went and took the jab. Oh, it's over. Now what? Or even worse, she's saying that she's going to leave you if you don't take it, because if you don't take it, your job that's helping you provide for the family, you're going to lose that. And now you're not going to be able to pay the bills. She's going to move back with her mom or whatnot and take the kids with her because it's dangerous for them to live with you because you can't provide for them. And, all of that. Just a random scenario situation I just threw out there. All right. And that's happening. You still have to be patient. Remember, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Not whatsoever you think will be brought upon you so you can prepare for it. All right. But whatever the Lord brings upon you. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right. So if you are made of gold, the Most High will try you. He will put you to the fire, put you to the test. All right. And if you are an acceptable man, you're going to come out pure, refined. It says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Okay. So now going back to Matthew, there's a reason the Lord is saying all this, because he knows, all right, that there's going to come a time when you will have to choose based on your decisions that you're going to make, whether it's the Lord or it's your family or those around you, because oftentimes those around you are not going to be in the same mindset all the way as you, especially when those that might claim to be until the going gets tough. And then they end up breaking. And you might have drawn strength from the fact that they were with you until they decided, nah, I can't do this anymore. And you witness them lose the hope or faith and, drop out the race. Is your mind strong enough to keep going? See, if you love the Lord from the jump above everybody else, then your strength wouldn't have been based on how many people are in agreement with you. It would have been based on what the Lord requires, all right, and your resolve, all right, to fulfill your duty to the Lord, all right. So moving on, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 16. It says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And what you need to understand is there will come a point where you will see that, yeah, your family is human. Your loved ones are human. Certain things, yeah, they sacrifice, but they're also human. All right. So betrayal, human characteristic. All right. Selling you out, human characteristic. Fear, human characteristic. The Lord is not subject to those kinds of things, man. Lord does not have to betray you, and he's not, as he said, he's not going to. But you don't know, just because those around you, you haven't seen those around you put in a certain position of desperacy, all right, or desperation to where they're willing to sell you out, doesn't mean that they won't, because you don't know. You've never seen them in that position before. And as this devil gets ready, with his coalition, all right, via the media and his different things he's gonna do, in person, okay, and then, tries to come, guess what? Your loved ones, your family, your friends are going to be put in a position, all right, where you haven't seen them been put in that position before, and you don't know what their reaction is going to be, but that shouldn't matter, okay? That shouldn't matter, because you know what the Lord said his reaction is going to be. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, or actually 12. It says, as a matter of fact, hold on. Let me start actually at verse 11. All right, so it says, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 11. It says, now all these things happen unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. All right. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. See, so whatever it is, even if it's betrayal, death, whatever it is, this happens. These are common to man, because you read about these things that have happened before. Romans 15:4. It says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So he knows what level, where's your limit, where you can go, what you can do. So when you're put in a certain position, initially it may seem like too much, but guess what? The Lord knows exactly what's going on. Everything is set and calculated. All right. It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. All right. So how are you going to find that way to escape? Throughout the temptation, you have to cleave to the Lord and depart not away. All right. You have to what? You have to be patient when you're changed to a lower state. And in your latter end, you'll be increased, that you'll find that way to escape so you can be able to bear it. But you need to understand that this is the time we're in. That peace, all right, that peace of ignorance is going to disappear. There's a peace of ignorance. Those that are around you love you because they don't know what you're really into. Those that are around you, or I should say, love you because they don't know what Esau is going to portray what you're into as. Right? And it's going to make them question. All right. It's going to make them question. It's going to make them question who you are, or who they know you to be. Is this the same man I married? Is this the same son I raised? Is this the same father that raised me? All right, but we already know these things are going to come, all right? So this is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 2, and I'm going to go to 42. It says, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, and that young, well, he's going to actually answer that. These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal. All right. So what's a part of the mortal clothing? The things that we've gone through that are common to man. But how were we able to put it off? Was by what? Enduring. Okay. By sacrificing. Okay. By going through the adversities, that fire. The furnace of adversity is to purify the mortal clothing off of us. Okay. And get us ready, as it says here, and put on the immortal. But that starts with your mind. All right, with your spirit. It says, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. So that's not an easy thing. Okay. It says, then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God. Who is that? Yahweh Shai. All right. Hamashiach, which is the anointed. It says, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. There's a reason Ezra is greatly commending them, because he knows, all right, that it's extremely difficult, especially with the times we're in now and the mindset that we carry. All right, we're not just, this isn't just this is just what I believe. This is how far are you willing to go to stand for the Lord, because you're literally going to go up against the world. When we read the scriptures that say that we're not of the world, if we were of the world would love his own. Put that in perspective. The world is a very big place. Okay? So imagine that. And when put in comparison to the world, that's why the elect are likened unto a remnant, a small number. All right? And it's almost like a David and Goliath, like an uphill battle. You're looking at, damn, governments, infrastructures, all of these, set up. And you thinking, how in the world, is you, little old you, and your faith and your belief gonna change the whole world? Well, how should I say? If you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you shall be able to move mountains. All right, well, it's spiritual, because sometimes mountains in the scriptures are also referred to as governments, and it's through that faith, all right, which could be even as small as a grain of a mustard seed, that we're going to be able to overcome these governments and this beast system and all of that. All right, of course, with the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It says, then the angel said unto me, go thy way, and tell thy people what manner of things, and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen. And that's what we're about to see, but we have to endure unto the end. All right? Don't let the decisions of those that may seem to be with you, or those that you may love, sway your path. They can't give you salvation. So don't let them have the power to take it away. All right. So with that, I hope you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.